One of the gentlemen we have here, our favorite guest, the mortgage doctor. Whatever ails you and your mortgage, this gentleman can fix. And we've got Steve Haney from Provident Lending. How you doing this morning, Steve?
You know, I am doing fantastic.
So some people have heard you, some people haven't heard you, but, you know, you are the mortgage doctor. It ain't your first rodeo. You've been helping people not only keep more money in their pockets right away, but also over the course of time. And maybe you could just let people know a little bit about your background. And I do want to stress that you are able to help people regardless of where they're at in Colorado listening to us, right?
You know, that's exactly right. I own a mortgage company, and I'm a small independent broker, which means I can do business with anybody I want to. I'm not limited to the rules of the big banks, and I loan money for a living. Whether you're buying a house, consolidating your debts, trying to skip a couple house payments, you know, whatever, send the kids to college, whatever it is, that's what I do. So it's related to a house. Okay, so mortgage companies means house. And so every single month, most of us that own homes, we write a check to the mortgage company. They never say thank you. Okay, if you're ever late, they chew your tail. You know, and most of us, quite honestly, just don't have enough money to live on every month.
Well, you know, we talked about that before. So often we end up with more month than money at the end of the month.
You know, that's exactly right. You know, when we live and die financially based on our income and our outflow. And most of us have very little influence over either one of those. Okay, no. You can't go to your boss and say, you know, I need to double my income. And you can't go to your mortgage company and say, I'm tired of making payments. Would you let me skip one? Okay, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, they're real receptive to that type of offer, aren't they?
You know, it'll take them about a nanosecond to give you a call and say, you're late! You know, which is really weird. But anyway, in our world today, if you own a house, there's going to be some pain related to making a mortgage payment. That's just the way it is. Okay, some people have bought a house too big. Some people's income has changed. But whatever it is, if you have any pain as it relates to your mortgage, writing that check, now is an absolutely incredible time to do something about it. Okay, and specifically, you know, interest rates are still at historically low levels. Now, what that means, now here's a trivia thing for you. Okay, if you're out there, put your thinking cap on.
Okay, here it comes.
I'm going to ask you a question. What have average interest rates been for the last 20 years? 6%.
Okay.
Okay. What have average interest rates been for the last 50 years? 6%.
Really?
Yes. What have average interest rates been in our country for the last 200 years? Want to guess?
6%.
6%. Exactly right. Okay, so we all remember 18% interest rates, but now we're in an environment where we're on the extreme on the other side, where interest rates are down in the threes. Threes, okay? That's a 30-year fixed mortgage for in the 3% range, which is absolutely incredible.
It's just kind of unprecedented, really.
You know, it really is. It really is. And, you know, this is by design. The federal government's gone on and done some things intentionally to drive interest rates down. Now, that's cool, okay, but what does it mean to you and me? What that means is we have an opportunity to restructure our finances so that you can save $200, $400, $800 a month reduction in your house payment. That, for me, is pretty significant.
Well, you know, when you're talking about that, not meaning to get off on a tangent here, but just as an example to that sticks in my mind, some folks that you helped from the show not so long ago, and you told me that they had, I forget what their first was, but they had a second that was like 16% or something like
right.
that?
They had a 7% first and a 16% second. You know, and I asked them, like, guys, what are you thinking? I mean, you know, interest rates have been good for a long time, way under 7%. Oh, I don't know. I just never got around to it. I just write the checks and, you know, swallow my aspirin afterwards, you know, and just kind of endure the pain. Well, you know, those people, we actually save them $330 a month, and they skip their January and February house payments. So,
that was
okay,
a good chunk of money back in their pocket.
You know, they put basically $3,000 in their pocket and saved $330, I think was the number, $330 a month. Well, just do the math. That's almost $4,000 a year. Over 10 years, that's $40,000.
Wow.
That's a big deal, guys. Okay, and so what I try to convince people to do is to call me. call me at 719-266-5500. It's going to take me 10 minutes. I can ask all the right questions. We're going to figure out who you are, what your situation is, and decide where to go from there.